Con. We are so excited to see you guys here today. We are thrilled because we're jumping in and having a conversation about the artistic process that goes into creating a webcomic, specifically for Webtoon. I am joined by some incredible artists today. My name is Cam Robinson. I'm the best-selling author of the Golden Trilogy. I am joined by Lupicut, author of Blood Ink. Lupi, how are you today?
What's up? I'm good. How are you?
Good. I am excited to see you. I'm excited that you're back for our second panel. We're going to dive in and talk about your story in just a minute. But first, let me introduce you to MushMello, the author of Defects. Mush, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Hello.
I'm so glad that you are joining us today. This is the first time you and I have been able to hang out. And I have to say, I love your hair.
Bless. Thank you.
Very cute and pink.
Yes, all the love, all the love. Before we dive in, before we have our conversation about the artistic process, I do want to learn a little bit more about your stories. So, Mush, tell me a little bit about Defects.
Defects is about, basically, centers around Ellie. She is a girl who grew up in like a children's home. She ends up finding out that she's not who she really thinks she is. And it's basically witches, monsters, romance, and the existential dread that consumes your 20s.
Oh,
sounds good. I love it. I love it.
That's an adventure.
Right? Right?
Dang.
Yes. Lupi, tell us a little bit about Blood Ink.
Blood Ink is about a country that legalized assassination, and it revolves around two characters. One is a legal assassin, and the other one, not so legal. Doesn't support the assassination bill, and obviously they, clashed with each other, and things get crazy. That's it.
That's it. If you want to learn more about Lupi's story, come join us tomorrow on the Toon Ladies Talk Show. Lupi will be joining us, and we can get more information out of Lupi tomorrow. It's going to be fun. And Xandra is here. Xandra, excited to see you. You were excited for the live stream. Well, we're excited that you are here. Ghost Wonders is also here. And Ghost Wonders is excited. Hey, we're excited to see you too. All these wonderful people, says Allie. We're getting highs. We're getting lots of love. Hopeful Dream is here saying hi to Mush. And we are excited that you are here as well. If you've got questions on the artistic process, we want to hear from you. Get into my comments down below or in the chat box over to the side is actually where you are chatting with me today. And let me know what your questions are. We're going to be answering as many as possible. And if you're on our replay, we want to hear from you too. I will be monitoring these over the next couple of days and weeks, and I might just be able to convince some fabulous people to come back, maybe hang out on Instagram stories, Instagram live, and get you some answers if you are not here with us live. But we do want to get your live questions answered as well. So jump into my comments and let me know. Let's dive in. We're going to talk all about the art process today. You guys know I'm an author. I am not an artist, so I'm going to learn just as much as you are today. So get those questions in there. And actually, before I dive into mine, let's start with yours. Ghost Wonder wants to know, how did you find your drawing style? So Mush, let's go with you first. How did you find your drawing style?
Honestly, it takes a lot of just different processes over the years. You take bits and pieces from art styles you already like, kind of mush them together and change them how you feel like you are satisfied with. I mean, you're not gonna be able to just jump into one thing and like be satisfied with it. So it's like a constant process of like, I like this bit. Let me take it from this. Let me take it from that. Never like fully copy a style, but like just take bits and pieces that you really like from different styles.
I feel like as you're doing that, because I'm not an artist, I'm a photographic artist. So I do some really cool like Photoshoppy photo manipulation type things. And so I feel like on that note, learn from the people that you like, take it, try it yourself. But as you're developing what you're doing, you're going to kind of tweak what they do and find your own style.
Exactly.
Never do it exact, but learn from them. Lupi, where do you stand on this? How did you find your style?
Oh, I mean, the same. I'm also like that. You grow up liking certain stuff, and you're like, oh, I want to draw this character, and you started drawing it, and start just like somehow it will develop by itself. I feel that I never planned this, never planned how my style turns out to be, and most of the times when people ask me, "What's your drawing style?" I still can't answer it. It's just this style is a mush of everything, and a lot of things that I learned and the things that I like. Just all, it became this weird baby.
Now, how long have you been drawing, Loopy?
Okay, I think it's elementary school, but I think I started getting into comic making when I was in junior high, maybe. Around those times.
Okay. So quite a few years at this point. You are rather on the experienced side.
Yeah, I'm just 28, I think. I'm 28, so I mean, it's been quite a while, I guess. Yeah, quite a ride.
Mush, how about you? How long have you been doing art?
About the same. I started doing like more comic-wise stuff when I started getting to like anime and manga in like junior high. So I've been drawing since then, but only digital about 2 years. So.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, cool.
That actually brings me to a really good question. I do want to talk about the equipment that you use to draw while you're drawing digitally. So what programs are you using? Are you using like an editing tablet? What does that look like for you, Mush?
I use Clip Studio Paint, Master Race. I use, for the most part, I do most of my comics on my desktop, and I just use a little Wacom Intuos, like the cheaper one, because I don't have like a display draw on. So, I just basic stuff. Just basic. It just gets the job done, and then other stuff when I'm doing like bonus things, I use like my iPad Pro. But for the most part, I just stick to my little Intuos and then Clip Studio, and that's all I use.
Cool.
That's awesome. Loopy, what is your system? What does your technology look like for you?
Oh yeah, it's used to do it the same way. Have a PC and then a Wacom, but now I switched to Surface Studio Book, where you get it's a laptop that can flip into a tablet, and you get your pen, and you can draw directly on the screen.
That's awesome. Very nice.
And of course, Clip Studio Paint, the same. I mean, Master Race. Hell yeah.
That's what I keep seeing you guys use that particular program. Yeah. Is there a reason you chose that over something like Photoshop?
I think mostly because I've used Photoshop for like years, but I didn't really care for how it did with comics. But like Clip Studio actually used to be Manga Studio back in the day, and I like dabbled with that for a little while, and then it changed. I came back and found it, and I was like, "This is fantastic! I'm going to sell my soul to it," and I have, and it's been wonderful.
Worth it.
Now, Loopy, have you tried something like Photoshop, or are you like hardcore over here?
Oh yeah, I used to work with Photoshop too, but my problem was because my computer was slow, very slow. So when I draw, it's just the lines doesn't go that well, and I switched to first I switched to Medibank, which was free at that point, and then switched to Clip Studio, which was wonderful. Now I need that's the only thing. Almost I do everything just from sketching until finish.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Right.
I'm going to have to look into this because I'm a Photoshop girl. Again, not an artist photographer over here. But I'm going to have to look into this because I keep hearing really, really good things. I want to know like how it compares to Photoshop because I kind of know what I'm doing in Photoshop. Like I'm the queen of Photoshop over here. So I kind of want to, as I'm going to draw, see what's going to work. So very interesting. If you are sending in questions, we are going to be reading them and moderating them. Please don't ask your questions more than once because I see them. We're going to go through them. We had a lot of questions written in early as well. So we're going to go through as much as possible in the next couple of minutes. So let us know, what are your questions? And we are going to jump into some comments that were sent in early for us. So let me go ahead and pull some of those up. So we do have a very specific question when it comes to drawing eyes and hands. So friends, do we have advice for drawing eyes and hands? Mush?
Hands, yes. I've done like a tutorial before. I basically, I'm going to give you a show and tell. Basically, I start with like I got some chunky hands, my lord. I start with like the back of your hand palm area, like a rectangle. and then I basically draw the bones of like where they would bend, and then I just kind of like go over that on a different layer to actually make a plump. But basically draw like the skeleton, like the bare minimum skeleton to see how they want to position them, and then plump them out. That's a weird word to say, but yeah.
Plump them out.
That's awesome. Loopy, do you have advice for drawing hands and eyes?
Oh yeah, that's basically the same. I mean, it's the same. I draw hands the same way. I draw skellies out of it and just fill them out, and that's it. But with eyes, I can understand it gets complicated. But for me, I just take a look at a lot of references, just anatomy. If you have a certain drawing style, anatomy will work, but you will have to, develop it again by yourself. But of course, it works a lot to know how body parts look and work at the same time. Just skeletons work though. I mean, just use skeletons, grids, and everything. That works a lot, honestly.
You make it sound so easy.
Well, it's complicated though. But once you get into it, you just do it.
I know. As somebody who does not draw, I'm learning to draw people. I can draw other things. I just can't draw people. I am fascinated by this conversation and by watching all of you do your art and create amazing things while I'm doing line people over here. It's a stick figure type thing. But if you do want to hang out, we are going to be doing some behind the scenes, some extra things. We've got some bonus episodes coming up with some of these amazing artists. We're going to be showing us exactly how they draw their characters. They're going to be giving us some great advice. And if you have been paying attention, we have an episode of the Toon Ladies Talk Show coming up with Disney animator Philo Barnhart. He created The Little Mermaid. He created Beauty and the Beast. He's created so many of the movies we grew up with, and he has volunteered to teach me how to draw hands and feet. And I'm going to try to convince him to do it on air. So if you want to learn, we're going to hopefully get a tutorial from Philo. It's going to be lots and lots of fun. So wow, the questions they are coming in. So guys, I'm gonna do my best to moderate all these. So they're coming in. So let's take a look. This is a great one. How do you actually prevent injuries when you are drawing? Soya wants to know. So Loopy, let's go with you. How do you kind of protect your wrists, your neck, your hands? I have a really great answer for this, but you go first.
Oh, that's it's your hands. They're your biggest asset. Oh, your eyes too. Oh, obviously. But one of the biggest problem I always had is when I grip my pen, I grip it too hard, and that created a lot of problem. And as soon as I realized that, okay, I need to. I wore this glove. It helps me, be more aware of how I'm doing, how I'm holding my pen. So it really does help, but you don't really need the glove. You just try not to hold your pen too hard. And also try not to move your wrist in a very difficult way, because that also hurts your wrist. Try to move your shoulder and, all of your arms more. And always remember to get up, walk around, stretch. Stretching is always very important. Just walk around, stretch, get water, keep yourself hydrated. Just all the healthy stuff.
Very wise words. Mush, anything to add on this one?
Oh yeah. I also put like a death grip on my pen as well.
Yeah.
For the most part, I don't get too many injuries in my hand unless I've been drawing like 24 hours straight, which happens a little too often. But for the most part, my problem's in my back, and you can buy back braces to help with that, or just shove a fudge ton of like pillows behind you in your chair. We work in what we got. I may be poor, but I'm gonna still function.
Still gotta stay healthy.
I hear you though. I can weigh in on this a little bit as a photographer, because I spend many hours editing photos for my clients and my people and all the things I design. So for me, the advice I tend to give to people, you can protect your hands and wrists by using a Wacom or some type of editing tablet. So it's this really cool little thing. It functions as a mouse. The pen works like the mouse, and it's off usually to the side of your computer. And that helps you to keep your posture up. If you can raise your computer up so it's straight on, that's going to help your neck, your back. It helps your eyes. Stretching your eyes and your body is very, very important. Like Loopy said, you always should be, whenever you're working, at least looking up, straight on, and far away at a distance for a good couple of minutes in between your work sessions. So for every 20 minutes that you are working on a computer, you should be looking up for a minute or two just to make sure you are stretching out your eyes. You want to make sure that you are sitting up nice and straight. And I have recently found a little tip I'm going to share with you guys. When you're working on your computer, whether you are an artist, a photographer, a writer, whatever it happens to be, it will burn your eyes out. It's a really bad, really real problem. So blue light blocking glasses are the best.
Yup.
Yeah. I've been in this business for 2 decades now, over 2 decades. It's been a long time. And I have burned my eyes out. It has been a real, true problem. And a couple of months ago, I discovered these glasses. It is a lifesaver. Invest. That is all I can say.
And if you already have prescription, you can add the blue light filter to your glasses. Best thing ever.
Yep. They're amazing. Yes. Cannot recommend it enough. And then make sure you're taking breaks and you're stretching and you're doing all the things. And if you discover that you've got pain somewhere, stop. I know it sounds obvious. And I know we also have deadlines, but please don't hurt yourself. Please don't.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, because an injury is going to last a lot longer than missing one little deadline.
Yeah.
Okay, off the soapbox, moving on. Let's keep talking. Let's pretend I can art. Wants to know, how do you push through art block when working on your comics? Loopy, what you got for us?
Oh, that's a big thing. Yeah, art blocks. Yeah, it gets to you when you're in a bad mood or when you're just sitting there and somehow ideas won't go out. The thing is, when you don't have deadlines, yeah, I can imagine. You just need to stop and watch something or read something, do something, go out. So because the thing is, when you're cooped up in there, your head, it's not good for your brain. Sometimes you do need to relax a bit so ideas can flow better. I really do think when there's a deadline, I would try to talk to my editor about it. It's no, this is not going well. Please give me more time. But if it doesn't work with your editor or the people around you, or people who can talk to other people who can give you more ideas, or watch something. You don't have to watch an entire series of trilogy or something, but try and just don't sit there and stare at a blank canvas. But try to, or sketch it out. Just move your hands, do something. Don't sit there and do nothing and wait for the idea to just, comes out of your head. Sometimes it happens, but it would be easier for you to try and do something about it.
I agree with that because one of the things that I tell my students in the author world and in the photography world is if you come up against that block, don't just waste that time. Go do something else creative in another area, whether it is if you're an author and you're writing a story, you're having trouble, write another story, or it's something like go do pottery or go do something else in the creative space that gets your mind engaged, but isn't that problem area that you're trying to get around. So I totally agree with that. Mush, what do you think?
Yeah, my usual go-to is if I have an actual art block is I binge some anime for a minute, or I listen to a lot of music, probably. I've started recently going through Twitter and finding different artists and usually seeing their stuff kind of makes my brain juice jump back in. So.
Oh yeah, that works a lot. Yeah.
Hopeful Dreams is in the comment and says, how do you keep track of all of your panels and the episodes when making different sized panels across different files? So Mush, tell me.
How do you keep track of all?
So when you're making your panels that are not necessarily the standard size, or they're going through, I've seen when I'm reading Webtoons, I got you.
Big
scenery things. How do you keep track of those things?
Usually, okay, so it starts when I write my actual chapter out. I write it as if it would be like a paragraph or a chapter, like a novel, and then I go through and break it down with like how my brain sees it. And then usually I've started doing long pages, and okay, so for me, I do all of my drawings on one large canvas, like 8,000 by 8,000 pixels, and then I shrink them down and put them onto the 800 by like 10,000, I think is what I do before I get it cropped. So that gives me a little bit more freedom to like move around to like be more visually pleasing and whatnot. But I also number all of my things like a crazy person. So I just have numbers going down my layer list to like keep track of it all.
That's so interesting. I like this behind the scenes. Loopy, what does this look like for you?
For now, yeah, I do those long ones. So just one episode would have like 3 slides, but they would be like gigantuous. But I mean, it's easy to keep track because of all, you put numbers on every files, on every panels you have. I mean, that makes it easier. Used to be a problem for me because when I name my files, it's just like A. That's, and don't do that. It doesn't help. But yeah, sometimes when you're working very fast, you sometimes get lazy on typing. But it really helps when it's chapter 1, panel something, and A, B, or C. Just try to organize everything. But for me, as long as you name the panels and you put numbers on it, it'll be fine. So don't have to worry about it.
Nice. Good advice. Good advice. I like it. King of the Rusty Clan, which I didn't say right, sorry, says, coming from someone who wants to mess with video games in 3D, do any of you use 3D software to help with your art?
Ooh. Yes.
Yep.
It helps a lot. I mean, come on. Especially when you're drawing something. Yes.
SketchUp.
Complicated. SketchUp. Get SketchUp. Play with
SketchUp make 2017 specifically.
That's it. My God, I can never.
Because you can spend like a couple of hours building an entire like background, and then you can use that background instantly just throughout your entire series. So I always highly recommend taking your time and using it. You can change the style of how it looks. You can use it as for just line art. It's the free version, and it is
beautiful. Oh,
perfection.
Hey,
best thing ever.
Too.
Yeah, dude, check it out, please.
All right, guys, if you are joining us live, we are here for a few more minutes. We're answering your questions. I am going through all of these, and we have some written in. We're going to get answered as well. But now's the time to drop those down in the comments below. But also, if you're having fun, we need you to do a couple things. Number 1, hit the subscribe and notification bell. Let us know that you're here by hitting that subscribe and notification bell, because that tells you every time I go live, every time I drop a brand new video, and you do not want to miss what I have coming up. We're hanging out with these amazing authors and artists on the Toon Ladies Show every Sunday at 6 p.m. My backup is here supporting me and doing all the fun, fabulous things. I love you guys so much.
Oh, hell yeah.
We just straight vibing.
Yeah, we're filling you up. Keep talking.
Yes. So I hope that you guys will come and hang out with us every single Sunday. In fact, if you love Loopy's going to be here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be doing all the fun, fabulous things. We're having an emotional support group because of a recent death inside of the comic. It's so sad. We're going to be doing all the fun things. Join us.
You had to.
You have to. You don't want to miss it. Plus, we're dropping brand new videos. We've got some amazing authors coming up on the show, including artistic animators, canvas artists. We have amazing original artists coming on as well. It's going to be so much fun. Plus, we're dropping bonus videos, and I'm working on a secret project for you guys I can't tell you about yet, but dang, you don't want to miss it. This is the first time I've said it. You guys learn first. Big things are happening. Hit the subscribe and notification bell. Number 2, you need to bring some friends to the party. Hit the share button. Let your friends know we're hanging out, and be a good friend who brings your friends for all of the fun. Don't be that friend who does this to yourself.
Yes.
Come join us.
Come chill.
Come.
Oh gosh. And then the third thing we need you to do is get your phones ready, because we have a fun little tradition here at Toon Ladies. I am super excited for this one. during every single one of our lives, we do like to do some marketing, some pictures, some fun things. So get your phone ready. If you're watching us on your phone, you're going to snap a screenshot. And if you're watching us on your computer, you're going to take a picture of your computer. Bonus points if you get yourself in it as well. And I know some of you are doing cosplay, so we want to see that too. So get ready to take a picture. We're going to smile for 3 seconds, and we want you to take a picture of us smiling and then put it on social media and tag us in it. So are you ready? We're going to smile. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Now you're going to take this and you're going to put it on Instagram stories. You're going to put it on Instagram. You're going to put it on Facebook, Twitter, wherever. Tag us in them because we want to see this, especially if you're in cosplay, especially if you're in this picture. And we want you to let your friends know that you're here hanging out with us. Are you good? You're ready? We're going to move on. We're going to dive back into your conversations, back into your questions, and we're going to get this thing done. All right. Let's take a look. We are getting lots and lots of love in the comments below. Vincent does want to know, how do you position your drawing tablet in relation to your computer, straight onto the side, anything else? So if you are using an editing tablet like a Wacom Intuos Pro, where do you typically put this? I know for me, it's important to have it off to the side. So for me, it's directly next to my computer. If my computer's here, my tablet's here. Mush, what about you?
I use a desktop, so my monitor, I actually built a little level thing for my monitor to sit on top of. That way my tablet can be in front of it, and I can have like the distance between it. And then when I'm done with it, I can just slide it underneath. But yeah, I use it like because I got so used to drawing, like looking at my hands, I had to learn how not to do that. So it was easier for me to just do it right in front of it instead of like off to the side, kind of like, what am I doing?
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And Loopy, you've got a tablet as part of your computer, so that's directly on the screen. So you don't even have to worry about positioning that.
Oh yeah, it's just draw right on top of it. But yeah, I guess I have another monitor on. It's slightly above the main laptop, and it really helps with putting out references. I put the scripts on there, and I put of course videos. And if you're watching a stream, you put it there, so when you work, you can do it while watching it. Yeah.
TM Sharky wants to know, do you copy and paste characters so that you don't have to keep redrawing them and just change their facial expressions? And I'm going to add on to that. Do you do that for your backgrounds as well? Do tell, Loopy.
Ooh. Yeah. I don't do it a lot, but it does happen when they're doing this conversation thing, and it would be easier to copy and then paste. But of course, you wouldn't want to have the same expression on the next panel. So just redraw the expression. Sometimes I redraw the hands also, and sometimes I also redraw the leg poses or anything. But yeah, when there are certain characters that has difficult hair or difficult costumes, that would actually help a lot with saving time. And yeah, I also copy paste and edit backgrounds to save time. Yeah, I use SketchUp and then put it in as a background, or items. Like if I want to draw a gun, I would get those from SketchUp to my Clip Studio and then redraw it a bit, or edit the image a bit, and then it saves a lot of time that way.
That makes a lot of sense. Mush, what do you think?
I think the only time I really copy like people, like the same like picture or whatnot, is when they're going from like they're in mid conversation, like Lippy said, and it's just like a quick like face change. It just makes all the difference from like being like, oh okay, and then just sassy and kind of a jerk. But as far as backgrounds, when I do, I don't typically use the same backgrounds unless it's a nature background, because especially if it's like a far away kind of background thing, I'll just like copy, blur. You can't notice. This is fine.
Good.
I do.
True.
I am not bad about it, but I do sometimes, like if I have one big panel that has like a lot going on, I'll crop in one section to use as a panel later on, just because it's very time consuming. But like, yeah, if you can copy and paste something and like edit just a tinge to where it doesn't look exactly the same, please do.
I do that in the photography world, so I feel you there. I totally feel you there. TM Sharky does want to know, how long does it take to draw an entire panel? So what does that look like for you, Mush?
I sketch out the entire chapter, and then I go back in and do each one individually. Usually sketching one panel, depending on like how complex it is, it can go from like 5 minutes to like maybe 30 minutes, depending on how much is in it. And then from there, it's usually at least 45 minutes because how much I put into a panel, because I'm kind of over exuberant on it. But yeah, between like probably about an hour per panel at minimum.
Interesting. How many panels do you typically have in your story, just as we're calculating time in minutes?
Used to, when I did 2 weeks per episode, it was about 70, and now that I'm down to only once a week, I have a minimum of about 43.
Okay. Interesting. Loopy, what does this look like for you?
Oh, almost the same. Almost the same, really. I also do that, sketch it all the entire chapter, and then work on it one by one. And yeah, it really is the same. It does take it differs, because when you're just drawing a simple, a character just standing there talking, it wouldn't take that much time. But when you're drawing a whole scenery or like an action pose, you're like, you have 5 people in one panel trying to argue with each other. Yeah, that would take a long time. It just depends on how creative you get, on how smart you get on putting them on. Save time when you copy paste, or like not draw the background, but edit some images for the background, like Mush says.
It's interesting because as someone who is not an artist, who is reading these comics, I am noticing that artists tend to have specific, what I'm calling cheats. So instead of drawing big, complicated scenes, there's kind of ways to get around it by showing a close-up of just one person's face, or by maybe showing a long-distance shot without a lot of detail. There's some interesting cheats in there to save time and effort and energy. So do you all have specific cheats that you kind of use every once in a while to make sure that you are getting things done in a timely fashion? Mush, let's go to you on this one.
Oh yeah. If the panel is small enough to where you have to think about my thing is, it looks wonderful on your computer screen, but you have to think how it's going to look on the actual like phone and how small it is. So if you're not going to be able to see it on the phone, don't put the detail in it. It's just a waste of time, and time is so precious when you work so many long hours on it. But yeah, if I can get away with not putting a face, I don't put a face.
Well, yep.
But yeah, and then the copy when you can. So yeah.
I've seen a lot of people, they'll like just focus in on the mouth, or they'll just focus in on the eyes, and they don't have to draw the detail. And that's a fun little cheat that I've noticed. Loopy, do you have anything fun like that you kind of work in to save yourself some time and energy?
Yeah, exactly the same. I put but you will see it when a character is talking, and then you suddenly see that glass of water or something, or like that coffee in the corner, or like that his hands fiddling. It's somehow artsy. Come on, but you do that also to save time, and also when you're seeing a character talking, it's just the face, just not doing anything. It's just beside talking. It might get bored. So it's good to avert that to other things, maybe their hands, their other surrounding items. Yeah, like anything, like the sky suddenly, trees.
Detail shots, they're good.
Yeah.
That random establishing building shot.
Look at this. Which sometimes people don't realize that building is from another panel that they didn't know that was like at the back there somewhere. Yeah.
Yep.
Just do that.
And it's fine because you don't remember.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Change the color toning and you're good. Nobody knows. They can't prove a thing.
Yep.
True.
Yep.
They're angry. Make it a bit red. That's it.
You saw this at nighttime. Now wait till you see it till daytime.
Oh, hell yeah. Surprise.
Oh, gosh. I love it. Ella Laker wants to know, how do you manage your time and work through distractions, especially social media? So how do you keep off of social media and keep on with your work? Loopy?
Oh, that's kind of hard. But But yeah, from time to time, yeah, it will distract you. But one of the best ways for me is to put my phone on the other room and just forget about it and just don't think about it and not open any tabs that has, like Facebook or Twitter or any social media on it. I mean, if you want to listen to a podcast or watch a stream, that's fine. But come on, it won't distract you that much. So put aside the stuff that distracts you. It'll be better if it's in another room. I think that works for me. And I also, sit down, do that. And sometimes people told me that they put a timer. I have never tried it, but I heard that works.
Always good advice. I do have some fun things to add to this one, but Mush, let's go to you first.
Okay, so my distractions come in the form of two humans because I'm a stay-at-home mom to two little ones. So my distractions aren't really social media, but the heathens running amok across my house. But for that, like, you have to actually set some kind of a schedule because I already work 70 hours a week on this while also being mom at the same time. So you really need to like set aside a time to actually schedule out your days. Like for me specifically, during the mornings and stuff, I get housework done, hang out with my youngest, and then nap time is go time for me. It's like maybe an hour and a half. But then I do like writing in the afternoon or something when they're kind of just playing around. And once they go to bed between like 7 to like 2 or 3 a.m. is when I get like most of my actual like hardcore work done. But yeah, just get a schedule going. Don't get a schedule like mine. It's very unhealthy. I do not recommend, but it's working because I haven't slept more than 4 hours in like 5 years. It's fine for me. It's fine.
Dang.
But I highly recommend like just having a set schedule.
Yeah.
I felt that too. Having that schedule is really important though. So here I am weighing in as everything but an artist. Setting a schedule, very, very important. Protecting your work time is very important. So for me as an author, as a designer, as a photographer, all those fun things, I have a very set specific time that I am working, and I do not allow people to interact with me during that time. If I have to, I'll close down my email, I'll close down my social media, I'll set it aside, and I will not do anything but write the book or edit the photos or do whatever it is within my businesses that I have to do, and that is really important. Having that set schedule, having that time frame makes you get work done better and faster. You do want to make sure if you do have issues with social media that you are using something to remove that from you. So either put the phone in the other room, or there are apps that will actually lock down your phone and or your computer, so you can't get on anything but the program you're supposed to be working in. Those are available. If you need them. Yep. If you need them, they will lock you down, and no matter what you do, you cannot get into that program, that your phone or your computer, until that time is up, whatever that limit is that you set. So that's available to you. On the note of watching things like podcasts or live stream, that is a great way to kind of give yourself something to think about, something to do without actually actively being on social media. And I recommend the Toon Ladies Talk Show and Podcast. So make sure you check those out, guys. Every Sunday, brand new episode of the talk show. Every Thursday, brand new episode of the podcast with completely unique content. And guess who's going to be on all these fun things? I'm just saying, you should hang out with us more. It's going to be lots and lots of fun.
You're missing out.
No, don't miss out. Don't miss out.
We're a delight.
That's it. Sweet stuff going around.
Yes, so much fun. Xandra says that Mush's Discord is always chatting so that they're not helping you with your distractions.
All right. Just call me out. That's fine.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. Oh, good. Sometimes
that's another thing I recommend for like people who are starting up their webtoons. Make a Discord. You will find so many people come in and like actually talk to you about your artwork and like follow the story. You can see them have like conversations on like theories and whatnot. It's mind-blowing, and like the community you build. Sorry, I just wanted to put that in there where Discord was brought up. Go ahead.
No, that's a great thing. And I've actually discovered in the Toon world, Discord is a very big thing. So guess who's looking into doing one for Toon Ladies? If you would like to see
hell yeah.
Yes. If you want to see that, if you would come be a part of that, if you would come have conversations with me and help me decide who to get on the show, who to get on the podcast, what to do, what bonus things to do, what cool panels to have at our next virtual con, let me know, because I'm working on this for you guys, because this is not something in the author community. So we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn how to do Discord. Who wants to come hang out with me? Let me know in the comments below. If you have last minute questions, we are right at the end of our time, so we've got time for like 1 or 2 more. Get them in real fast if you were going to. And friends who are here hanging out with me, we're getting lots and lots of love in the comments for the Discord and for all of you and for the cheats that we've been talking about. Yes.
All the cheats.
Yes, all the fun cheats when it comes to artwork. I do want to know final thoughts on creating a webcomic. What do we need to know for people just getting into it? What do we need to know about the drawing process? Mush, let's go to you first. What do people need to know before we leave?
For drawing wise, you need to know, okay, drawing and writing go together for this. You need to know the beginning, the middle, and your end of your story. You don't have to know the exact like details in between because those can kind of like come through as you go, but you need to have those. You need to have like your big plot points and where things turn around. And then that kind of makes it easier for you to write. And then once you have your chapters like written out and all that jazz, all that fun stuff, drawing, always sketch out the entire chapter first. It makes things go a lot quicker. Work on your style. You'll find your style as you go through because mine like just jumped completely whenever I started versus what I do now. I think it's really just don't stop because people always ask like, how did you learn how to draw? Like you literally just, you don't stop. I know it seems like I'm just high-fiving you as you drown, but like don't stop. You have to keep going. True. Because even if I stopped drawing for like years and I finally picked up a pen again, I was like, what do I do? How does one use this? And then you just keep going again and again and just like, oh, wait, I remember now. This is great.
That's awesome. I love it. Just keep going. Just keep going. Quote of the day. Very, very important. Loopy, thoughts on creating the artistic process? What do we need to know before we go?
I really do think what Mush says that's golden. I mean, I know it sounds cliche when people say don't stop, keep on going, do what you think is best, like that. But it is true. When sometimes I do also feel the same way. There are times when I try so hard to draw, but the ideas won't come out. Or like I try to write something, but the ideas just won't happen. But just it is true. Just keep going. And if you can't do it, try something, anything, experience, going out and like reading and do something else and then go back and then do it. Just keep going back and doing it because that's just how it is. You get better by doing it consistently. That's it.
Agreed. Just keep going forward. That is such a big part of this. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get. All right, friends, we have one more panel to go in the Toon Ladies Virtual Con for today. In our next panel, we're going to be talking all about vicious villains. I am so excited for this one because I love writing villains. I love reading villains. We're talking all about the villains we love to hate. So in just a couple of minutes at 5 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be live right here on youtube.com/ToonLadies for more fun. We've got fabulous guests and all sorts of fun, amazing things coming on. And before we go, I do want to give a quick shout out to our amazing authors, artists here on the show today. So Mush, where can everybody find you to connect on social media?
All of my social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram is MushMello Comics. Yeah, that. I'm there. I'm somewhere. If you type in MushMello Comics, you'll find my glorious pink cotton ball head. It's fine. You'll find me.
And you're over on Discord as well. So guys, make sure you go join the Discord. And your series is over on Webtoon. So make sure you head over and check out Defects over on Webtoon as well. Loopy, my friend, where can everybody find you on social media?
I hang out a lot on Instagram, so it's Lupicut, Lupicut, and also you can find me on Webtoon, Blood Ink. That's it. Those are the places that I hang out at.
Beautiful. And of course, you can come hang out with me on Toon Ladies, at Toon Ladies on all the social media platforms, here on the YouTube page as well, and soon to be Discord. Apparently, I'm getting love for the Discord in the comments. I guess I need to make this happen. We're going to make it happen for you guys. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Over the next couple of episodes, I'll be dropping information on this one. It's going to be lots and lots of fun. So come hang out with me at Toon Ladies. P.S. If you are loving all the Toon Ladies goodness and you want to get a little more involved, I'm looking for some volunteers to hang out and help me out. I'm looking for reporters, content creators, marketers. We're doing fun, amazing things. And those of you on my team get special bonus perks, like meeting my authors in person off air. You get to come hang out with these amazing people and ask your questions off air when nobody else is around. It's lots of fun. Come hang out at toonladies.com/join the team for more information. And in the next couple minutes, we are going live with our final panel for the day. We're talking all about those vicious villains that we absolutely love to hate. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Until our next episode, I hope you have a great day and stay inspired. We'll see you in a few minutes for our final panel of the day. Bye-bye, guys.